The Huskers are headed to the locker room, and it's time for Big Red Overreaction. The live post-game show with all the info and opinions you can handle. Plus the most important voice of all, yours. Big Red Overreaction is presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. And by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. Get on the line now at 402-951-1620 and sound off on Big Red Overreaction. Live on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The K.
Well, they held on. Season opening victory, 20-17. It was a little stressful at the end.
What?
Connor, have you been drinking?
What's going on?
Welcome to Big Red Over. Did you turn my?
Yeah, you're turning John down right now, Chris.
Yeah. Welcome. Oh, yeah.
We're peaking. We're peaking.
All
We're
right.
peaking.
It's a good thing Nebraska football hasn't peaked after week one.
Yeah, I hope not.
That is true. But 20-17 is the final. We are live from outside of Arrowhead Stadium. We're basically right outside the Price Chopper Gate at Kauffman Stadium. If you happen to be here in the parking lot, you're hanging around, look for the Zone tent. We're here, and we'll be here. It's John, it's Josh, it's Gary, it's Connor back at the Zone House. Matt McMaster and Josh Odson will be standing by a little bit later on. 402-951-1620 is how you can get in touch with us here tonight on Big Red Overreaction. And guys, it was a game. Honestly, one of the things that came to my mind as we were watching that second half was kind of feels a little bit like the bowl game.
Yes.
In that Nebraska was in more control score-wise against Boston College and then let them back into the game late, but then made a big drive to seal it. Here, a little bit different, but it kind of had the same vibe, and Nebraska made the plays when they did. And how about Malcolm Hartzog commits the holding penalty that basically gets the Bearcats within the range of a game-time field goal, and then on the next play makes that 50-50 catch, and Nebraska's black shirts seal it.
I think, John, the comparison that you just made to the Boston College game, I think, is really apt. In that game, they had the offense that chewed up the clock at the very end of it, and they were able to get the win. In this one, I mean, the offense did a solid job, and then the drive came to an end at midfield, and then the defense ultimately makes the game-saving play at the very, very end after Cincinnati was able to pick up some yards and get pretty close to field goal range.
I mean, 12-38 is what their one-score record is in the last 50. So they win a one-score football game.
That's true.
Wow.
But, you know, there's a lot to dissect in this game where I thought Nebraska finished the first half really well, and then the momentum that they had ended on that opening drive. When they went for it, Dillon had a guy open on fourth down, never saw him, and they turned the ball over to Cincinnati. I mean, this was so Nebraska football.
Yeah.
24, 23, 22. If you look at the box score, Cincinnati could have taken this game to overtime or won this game, and what they end up with passing yards, 69 passing yards.
And most of those came on the last drive.
Yeah. So I guess you would look at it this way. If I'm Matt Rule, I'm happy that I'm 1-0, but I'm not happy with the inconsistency of this game when you're going to look back and go, well, I guess Archie Wilson and Donovan Jones were two of our best players tonight.
Yeah.
Want to run through a couple big picture things first. Total yards, Nebraska 353 to Cincinnati's 271, and a lot of it was on those last two drives.
Yeah, and I bet the fourth quarter numbers are going to look a lot different.
Dylan Raiola 33 of 42 for 243 and 2 touchdowns, 42 passes tonight. That would have hit the over. And then the running back spread. I mean, we could talk about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Emmett Johnson carries the ball 25 times for 108 yards, and the rest of the running backs, Makai Nelson and Isaiah Mosey, have a combined 2 carries for -2 yards. That's wild that it was only one each. One each. Because Mosey had a catch or a couple catches in there as well, and I think it just seemed pretty early on that it was just like, okay,
Mosey
had one catch for 2 yards.
One catch for 2 yards. He ran the ball, and then they kept him in the game because they wanted him as a wide receiver. Here's the thing about the running back, and Emmett bailed him out sometimes tonight, and he ran hard, and he had a really, really good night. But you cannot have Bonner and Harvard have more carries than your combined backup running backs. So they're going to have to fix that. But
they ran the ball for 110 yards, Gary. It's not enough.
No. And it was all one guy.
And you know what? They weren't explosive, and they were very conservative, which really surprised me. They didn't take a lot of shots downfield, and they ran a lot of stuff side to side.
Well, a lot of it, though, is, that's the way Cincinnati plays. They play that cover 3 shell, and they make you, work in front of you. And I credit Dylan for, being willing to take the shorter throws. But you're right. There were probably some moments where, hey, just take one. Just take a couple, see what happens. Because we saw Hunter make a great play on a ball in the corner of the end zone. We know that Dane Key has the ability to go up and make those plays. So, yeah, I think there was a little bit too much conservative, especially in the second half. But if you don't have enough of a running game to do because that's how this offense is going to work. It's going to have to be a balanced attack to some degree. And it was just a little conservative. By the way, Connor, you mentioned the total yards, 133 yards for Cincinnati in the fourth quarter.
Wow. So take that off their 271 total. You're left with about 140.
And it was one-sided. It just
terribly one-sided.
Cincinnati shot themselves in the foot plenty of times tonight. I think one thing, there's a lot to dissect, whether it be the return game, especially kickoff returns, didn't get out to the 25 again. But, man, Archie Wilson a couple of times tonight bailed Nebraska out.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
He dropped punts inside of the 10 at crucial moments.
The thing I noticed too, Gary, and I think I noticed it most on his last punt, just seemed really comfortable.
Yep.
Never seemed rushed, took his time, kind of got the footing exactly how he wanted to, and was able to deliver on every attempt. And shout out to Robin Washut, who gave us 42 and a half and a tiny, tiny underhit on the first punt of the game.
Yeah, the special teams, at least from that standpoint, work. I mean, Kyle Kunanen hit that field goal from probably 59, in that first half. So I think you've answered something there.
Yes.
Special teams wise, but
there's some poor decisions to return though.
Yeah.
Including the one late in the game where they got to the 18-yard line.
Yeah.
Not getting to at least the 25 on the kickoff return is something
that got the fair catch. You might as well use it, but
you can't do that.
402-951-1620 on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. We got a full bank of calls. We'll hear from Matt Rule, and we have the opportunity here from Arrowhead Stadium as the fans are now pouring out of the field. They shot the fireworks off after the game. It was every bit what we expected in terms of an atmosphere tonight. I don't think there was really technically a Cincinnati section tonight except for the band, because everything else was bright Nebraska red, and it felt very much like a home game. It was a very spirited crowd tonight, and they needed it. Need a little inspiration at the end as Nebraska gets a win, 20-17. 402-951-1620. The first call of the new year belongs to James. James, welcome. You're joining the boys from Kansas City.
Hey guys, appreciate you guys taking my call.
Hey James, go ahead.
I'm very excited to be the first caller. I've been listening all day, so it's nice to get to participate. But anyways, I'm very excited about the season to go, and I'm a little scared about. I know this is John Butler's first game as DC. I expect a little nerves to come on the other side of the ball, but I'm a little scared about see what happens to do with when we play in a couple weeks Michigan. Bryce Underwood's a very scrambly quarterback, and I really don't expect what John Butler's going to do with that. But overall, I'm pretty excited about that. Dylan Royal played great. I love that RPO at the end of the end zone. And, yeah, I'm excited to see the season would come. But, yeah, thanks, guys.
James, appreciate the call.
Thanks for the call, James.
Great call, by the way, to get that last touchdown for Nebraska, going 3rd and 5 at the 5-yard line. And you could tell by the way they ran it that they were intending for 2 plays.
Well,
Emmett Johnson gets a couple of yards on first down. They really set up the next one, and a really nice pass by Dylan and Dane Key in the back of the end zone.
I think they felt a lot about the offense that we've seen over the last couple of years that plays the majority of the games in the stadium. They had, at times, a very high success rate, but they weren't very explosive. But that was prime Holgerson on that touchdown drive because they ran basically the same play on 3rd and 4th down. And if you go back to 3rd down, when they ran the ball with Emmett, Key was open. And so they saw that, and they went right back to it on 4th down. And they, instead of kicking the field goal, I'm sure Holgerson said, Matt, we saw something on 4th down. We're going to run the same play, because they did. And Dylan was quicker, pulled it out. Key was open. I mean, that saved him. It's just
what a decision.
I can't wait to hear the tone of Rule, because he'll be relieved that they won, but I don't think he'll be happy with only winning by 3. And the way that the second half unfolded, when I thought they had a chance, guys, we were all up together in the booth, is they had a chance to step on their throat after scoring at the end of the first half, having the ball to begin the second half. If they score there, it's 20-3, and you're like, okay,
whole game
this
changes.
is what this is supposed to be in 2025.
And it sucked the air out of the building too.
Yep.
Yeah, it did.
It was quiet basically during the game until the very end after that.
Yeah, that decision to go for it on fourth down when they did. I mean, given that the other fourth down attempt that they had has been a lot of the conversation that people were having upstairs. We've been wandering around here. Since we left and got down here and we're starting to get set up, that was like one of the first things that someone brought up to me. What about that other fourth down conversion that they tried to get?
402-951-1620. All of our calls tonight on the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. Old man Doug back in Omaha, I assume. Doug, how come you weren't down here?
Well, I've
Doug?
had a lot of time off lately. Can you hear me?
I
Hello?
understand, Doug. I got you,
Yeah,
Doug.
we got
go
you,
ahead.
Doug.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep, go ahead. We got you.
Well, I'm not going to complain about anything. I was just about ready to complain about number 7, and then he made the last play. But the nice thing about the game was the special teams, with the exception of the returns, was really good. We didn't give the game away for once. We were a little tired there at the end, but what can you say? I'm so happy that we finally won a game like this. Are you still
Doug,
there?
appreciate it. Thanks a lot. It's always
Thanks,
great
Doug.
to have you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Joey probably turns us down while you're talking because there's a horn honking. in the background.
Yeah.
So there's
Hey,
a car
whoever triggered their car, it's over here. It's over here. Of course, good luck. There's about 20,000 cards in this parking lot, so good luck finding it. But anyway, car's over here. Unbelievable.
Yeah, tow it. Get it out of here. Get him out of here.
By the way,
Oh.
speaking of Doug, this edition of Big Red Overreaction, of course, is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally.
What's going to be the mood? I mean, we'll see
well,
from the callers here.
Judging the chat, the mood is poor.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it feels a little post-Colorado last
And again,
year.
I'm telling you, I think the locker room will feel very poor.
Sure.
And they will remind them that you're 1-0. But because people, internally, they were thinking this was a game that they could win by
a couple of double digits.
Dude, this parking lot
and it
show.
shut off.
No, you know what they're doing? They
it's
press the alarm button so they can find it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
you're not
car
close.
is right Good there. Look at that. Probably a dozen other people are going to. Oh, and there it is again.
Have fun on
Unbelievable.
I-29.
Tow it. This is what happens when you do the show from a parking lot.
Oh, my gosh.
No.
But I think internally they thought they were prepared to play, that they had a good game plan about what Cincinnati would do defensively. They just were choppy. I know it's the first game,
man.
Yeah.
but it felt way too much. There were too many moments in this game where it felt like the first game,
Yeah.
where you were not, okay, we got through the growing pains. We got out of our system. Here we go, start of the second quarter.
Matt Rule is just about to hop up to the podium, so let's go there.
Make sure to we left some things out there, obviously, that we have to improve upon. We have to make a big jump this week. The fact that we were a +2 in the game, I believe +2, yes, obviously was important. Thought the kicking game was solid for us. So a lot of things to build on, some things we have to correct. Obviously, we lost Wood. That injury did not look good, so we'll have to wait and see. But he's a beloved member of this team, and that took a little piece of all of us. So hopefully he'll be back at some point, but we'll have to wait and see tomorrow. So with that, I'll answer your questions.
You got a lot of one-score games when you play power conference teams. How does it feel to be on the right side of this one to do it by winning it? Nothing making a play.
Yeah, I think that was the key. We made a play, right? And I thought the offense did a really nice job. Obviously they went down, they took the 10-point lead. And then that drive, we had a great drive going to that one, just that one play, but even then we made them use their timeouts. I had them in the 4th and 5, had the penalty. Great call by John. That quarterback eluded us. We had, every time we got close to some pressure, he was able to make a play with his feet. And really, even that long drive, there's 2 drives in a row, they went tempo. We didn't they didn't really throw a ball. I mean, one ball in the flat, but yeah, great call by John. He brought the simulated pressure, went to cover 2. They took a shot at the hole. I mean, I just saw the guy running wide open, and all of a sudden Malcolm shows up, and that's what Malcolm Hartzog does. He doesn't talk a lot. He just makes plays, and happy to see him have a chance to make a play. That was a nice call by John.
How did they defend you how you expected with that kind of iron shell where they're kind of taking away the deep throws down?
Yeah, we knew that's what they would do. I think the big thing that they did early was coming out and, we went to empty, just zero blitzing us and just showing zero. Kind of the UCLA plan from last year, bringing different people. That frustrated us a little bit early. I thought Hogue did a nice job of reacting to that. And, we thought we ran the ball really well in the first half. I don't know, we got to close to 100 yards probably in the first half. Obviously, the false start on the goal line didn't help. We could have used those points. Just think we stalled a little bit in the red zone in the 4-down territory. But that's who they are. They're 3-2 shell. It's the Iowa State defense. Like, just keep everything in front of you, try to frustrate you, make you execute play after play after play after play. At halftime, we had 19 minutes and 32 seconds of time of possession. They had 10. So, I mean, it's kind of the way we wanted the game to go. To their credit, they came out and they answered us. We moved the ball down to start the second half. 4th and 2, we decided we were going to go for those. I went for it. They went down and answered with a score and turned it into a game, So we have to figure out, we had a lot of third downs, but probably some of those, third and fourth downs, like if we get maybe one more back, might have been a little bit better off.
You went again on 4th and 2 at the goal line. You had time to go. What kind of confidence do you have in Dylan to be able to make that kind of play?
I have confidence all the time in Dylan. We had the look to play before too. We thought, they kind of played a little different leverage, so he handed the ball off, knowing he had 2 downs, just veteran play. I mean, even some people might not recognize even taking the sack on the second down at the end of the game. Like, that's a veteran play. If he throws that ball away, they save a timeout. Now they have a timeout at the end of the game, but he knew that even taking a sack, while we don't want to do that, that's the better play than throwing the ball away. So I think if you go back and look at all the things that Dylan did in the game, I think maybe it was really one of the more mature games. But yeah, the 4th and 2 play, it was a run RPO. He signaled the right RPO. Dane won. I think the good thing for me coming out of it, we played a lot of guys tonight. It was a hot, muggy night. We had a lot of possession, but I thought Dane and Isaiah, when the ball came to them, they won the one-on-ones, and that was a crucial play. And the thought also being there, Mitch, it's a 3-point game. A field goal makes it 6. I mean, if we stop them there, we get the ball back, hopefully with good field position.
It seemed initially you were a little confused about the shape was playing. It was obviously the wrong call on the field, and then it seemed like they made a call, but you didn't hear it in the headset, and you kind of celebrated that play late in the second quarter.
The shape, the fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can't hear, what the officials say. Same thing happened on the one. We fumbled the ball forward, and they marked it 4th and 1. They marked it where the ball went out, and we put the goal line, and we had to call timeout. And they made the right call. It's just we can't. When they make an announcement, the TV can hear it. You guys can hear it. We can't hear it. It's on the field and it's really loud. So I thought he said first down. Typically I rely on the line judge or the side judge next to me to tell me what the answer is ahead of time. They'll say, hey, they overturned it or they kept it. He didn't know, I didn't know. And then when he started walking, we were all going, what is it? And then he went this way, obviously. So, I thought it was a really well officiated game. They were very fair. I thought it was excellent. And I thought the replay was good. I mean, I was 50-50 on the Isaiah play. And, obviously Isaiah made a great play getting his foot down. So. Yeah, I think we thought maybe we'd play the other guys a little bit more, but that we just had a lot of tempo plays, right? We had a lot of plays that we just stayed no huddle and just try to keep them from putting their pass rush package out there. So, I thought he ran really hard. I don't know how many yards he finished with. Did he give me? I don't have stats. Hey, 108. Yeah, so I thought he did what he's supposed to do. 108. Caught the ball in the backfield, made the first guy miss, picked up blitzes. So, but yeah, Mosey and Makai, they'll continue to come along.
Now, what were your thoughts on the crowd and just the impact they had, just selling out Arrowhead Stadium?
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I think they said something like 92 to 95% of the tickets sold were through us. I just think that speaks to what we have here. And, especially a tight ball game like this where the crowd is so energized, so alive. We're on the road and I'm having to wear a double thing. I mean, which is great, you saw the impact of that, some false starts by them in crucial times. Unfortunately, the last one, they made a play on 4th down to get it, but they had some crucial false starts, which you have to attribute directly to our fans. And, obviously we'd love to win the game by more. We'd like to have taken the lead, but But, I thought that was an exciting way, and to see our guys make plays down the stretch. I hope the fans enjoyed that part of it. And, it was certainly fun to see them celebrate at the end.
Your field goal it's the difference in the game, 3 points, and Archie fits them at the 9, makes them go 91 yards if they're going to win it. How impactful was that, the special teams as a whole?
Yeah, I thought the special teams were great. I mean, obviously the first kickoff got out to the 35. We don't want that. Kicked the ball out of bounds. We don't want that. So, it's like everything else. Like there's some good, some bad. I thought, Kenneth Williams made good decisions on the kickoff returns. I thought Ja'Cory fielded every punt, including the 135-yarder. We almost blocked the one. We got close to one. But to be able to kick that field goal there in that time was a crucial play. I mean, that's a big change in the game. Archie getting out there and playing for the first time. He kicked, a couple left-footed, one right-footed, puts them down inside the 10. So, it's like the rest of the team. Like there's going to be a lot of good. There's going to be a lot of things we want to correct. And, I think the good thing is, we're going to go right back to work tomorrow. We'll be in the weight room at 11 o'clock. This is no, hey, happy Memorial Day. And that's not because of the game. That's just the plan, right? So we'll be in there tomorrow at 11 and we'll start getting better for next week.
You said this game is going to look a lot different from week 12 and tonight, but just what is this game going to do for just the experience across the roster?
Yeah, I think even as we got out there at the beginning, let's not forget now we're the youngest team in the Big Ten still, right? And so it's great when a senior makes a play like that down the stretch. We had a lot of guys that were kind of out there that was I told our guys we're getting a little bougie around here. We played our last game at Yankee Stadium. We show up yesterday. Andy Reid shakes everybody's hand. We go in there. Patrick Mahomes is on the sidelines. Patrick Mahomes is being restrained from where he can go and where they're, he's not really being restrained. Those are the people that are at the games. It's kind of cool to be a Husker right now, And so playing at Arrowhead, I thought it was awesome. But, I think at first, early on, Snow was on the headset, man, we're not running great angles. The first couple drives on defense were I think you got to play a game. You really do. You got to play. And, so I think we'll learn from it, but I just like the fact that the guys, they weren't yelling at each other. They weren't snapping, they were just hey, this is a football game. And, we're crazy if we think Cincinnati is not going to come in here. I told everybody, them, hey, these guys get up early, now the thing that they did was we'll have to adjust to the tempo. Great thing is the Big Ten is not necessarily a tempo league, but I do think the tempo got us, and we'll have to adjust to that as we kind of move forward.
When you obviously can't look in the crystal ball, right? But when you have a game like this and you actually get tangible results, where it's not you talking, they actually did it and they won a close game. What can this do for a team, especially a young? Yeah,
I don't want to get too way out there. I'll leave that to everybody else. This game 1, we won the game. We'll just try. We believe we make the biggest jump from week 1 to week 2. I think when our guys start putting these labels on things is when we get in trouble. I mean, we beat Rutgers last year in a close game, but then we lost it. We just got to get better every week. We've made a commitment as a team to each other and a commitment to improving throughout the course of the year. I just like the demeanor on the sideline. I like the demeanor in the locker room. So again, I think every time we go out to compete and we win the football game, great. We'll just have to look at the things we have to do better. But I love seeing guys fight. So we'll try to build off that. All right, thanks.
All right, that is Matt Rule with his post-game thoughts after Nebraska defeats Cincinnati in the season opener 20-17. Boys here at Arrowhead Stadium going to take your calls on the J. Stinnett Contracting Hotline, 402-951-1620. We'll get to a full bank of calls as we continue. Of course, Overreaction this season is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. And supporting sponsors include Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, brought to you by Dingman's and Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. John, Gary, Connor, Josh will be back and have more of Big Red Overreaction live from Kansas City on opening night on Steam the Zone and 101.9 The Keg.
At Dingman's, we understand that when you bring your vehicle
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized solar air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy Systems provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more. Driving industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships, let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air systems today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Participating sponsors in Big Red Overreaction. Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems expert. John Gary, Connor, Josh, Huey, Dewey, Louie, the whole gang's here. And later on, you'll hear from Matt McMaster, who's back at 1620 The House.
Nice.
As they'll take you the rest of the way. But we'll be here for a little while here out in the parking lot at Arrowhead Stadium, 402-951-1620. We head back to the Jason Dennett Contracting Hotline to Jim. Hi, Jim.
Well, good evening, guys.
Talk to me, Jim.
Jim, are you still there?
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
Jim.
Here. Can you hear me? Hey, you got a 5-star quarterback. You have speed at the receivers. Why are you throwing dink and dunk passes all night? You've got to throw the ball deep. We throw the ball deep one time, and it almost could have gone for a touchdown. And you have all summer to prepare for that defense. We've got to do a whole lot better, but you know what? A win is a win, and it's a heck of a lot better than a loss. You guys take care. It was a great show. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Whole question, is a win better than a loss?
Does it feel like
for
it?
Tomorrow.
That game had some hallmarks of some games that we have seen a lot over the last decade.
I was elbowing my dear friend Josh Peterson
won.
quite a bit during the game.
By the way, the record is now, since the Frost era, 11-35 in one-score games.
Well, I said 12-38. I like the 50. But here's the one thing: if you're gonna, so part of what you said, Connor, is Nebraska has lost those games.
Yep.
Utah drives down the field, and they not only get in scoring position to kick a field goal to tie it, they just score a touchdown, and you don't have any time left. So Hartzog made a play. They won that game.
Yeah.
We'll find out what tonight means down the road, but
Well,
it's better to wake up tomorrow 1-0 than 0-1. And you're like, well, nothing's different. We just wasted 8 months.
Is this a good time to talk about Jim's main point, which was why didn't they throw it downfield at all? I mean,
there could have been some more shots, yes, but remember that's how Cincy plays defense.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be willing to give or take what they're giving you.
Yeah, and it just felt like all night they were kind of waiting and waiting until they were going to dial something up and never got the opportunity. Obviously, it was a lot that Cincinnati did.
Yeah.
You're totally right, but it just never happened.
We all sat upstairs. Do you guys remember many times tonight where a Nebraska wide receiver got beyond the defensive back?
No.
I don't, and nor do I remember a lot of routes that challenged.
The throw to Hunter where he jumped and then he tripped at the end. And it would have been a touchdown, but at the last second, I mean, that was a one-on-one. He just kind of threw it up there and came back and grabbed it. That was kind of the deepest ball I remember Dylan throwing all night.
Well, I remember there was the Sorsby run in the second half was, 29 yards, I think, because I remember Sean Callahan was behind us. Said that's the longest play of the night for either squad. I mean, it was a game that was really played in a phone booth throughout much of it. And Johnny asked that question, and I'm just going through the quick Rolodex. Don't really recall seeing any of the receivers open anywhere near deep the entire game.
Yeah, you know what? Nebraska's longest pass play was that Hunter play that I just talked about, 24 yards.
And then the second would have been the Lindenmeyer play where he broke some tackles near the goal line.
A little out down the sideline on the Nebraska side.
And then they had 2 more passes of 15, and that was their 4 passing plays over 15 on the night and 4 rushing plays over 10 on the night.
And by the way, speaking of Lindenmeyer, definitely tight end 1. I thought he played the best. Harburg, I like the wild Heine or whatever it is you want to call it.
The tush push?
The tush push, the Heine push. But his blocking is a little bit desired.
Hey, when they look at film tomorrow of tight ends blocking, Harburg should call in sick. He got blown. Well,
I think I got the black lung pop.
He got blown up on a couple of key plays where the play was meant to go behind him. And him getting blown up threw the play completely off. Nelson was not a good blocker tonight.
No.
But you're right. Lindenmeyer showed out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not only that catch that you
impressive.
were alluding to, Josh. He had the other catch along the Cincinnati sideline in the second half.
And he had a lot of them where he was catching it as he was getting hit, and he was holding on throughout.
All right, who's ready for bloody knuckles? It's time to head out to Napa, and here's Vince. Hi, Vince.
Hey, fellas, how are you, man? Oh, my goodness. This game.
Good, Vince. It sounds like you've been into some of the vino.
Well, you're damn right I have been. I've drank like 2 bottles of it, man. Let me tell you. But I'll tell you, though, this game took a couple of years off my life. But when Malcolm Hartzog intercepted that pass, I collapsed to the ground, and I started screaming. And my wife came into the living room and asked me if I was okay. I mean, dear Lord. But I'll tell you, though, this game was unnecessarily close. I mean, we did a lot of good things. We really did. And I'll walk out of here with a win. I'm fine with that. And, but, and hopefully.
I will too, Vince. Hey, appreciate it. We got to.
Thank you, Vince.
we do have to run, Vince.
Hey. Should we finish this call?
Get to the bloody
you gotta fight.
Bloody knuckles.
Bloody knuckles.
Okay, one thing that we have here is a
Vinny
bit of a
D.
delay between us and the callers. So
we can't do any back and forth tonight.
No,
so
how are you?
You got to get to your point, have
callers,
a take, and don't suck.
Exactly. Get to your point, say what you say, and then we'll answer. All right, let's go to Wade.
Vinny D was in the sauce. Hello.
Wade, welcome. You're on Big Red Overreaction on 1620 The Zone and 101.9 The K.
Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? Can you hear me?
Wade, go ahead.
Hey, can you hear me?
Wade, hold on here. We have some rules because we're on a Yes, wait, we can hear you.
Hang up on it. We're not doing this all night long.
Yeah, we're not doing this.
We're not doing
There
this.
is a delay.
Wade,
there is a delay.
I'm triggered.
Wade, we're going to hang up, and you're going to call us back. For all the callers out there, what Josh just said, because of our setup where we're at, we're on a delay. So don't ask us how we're doing. Just when we say your name, you're on the air, and get going.
And go.
Boom.
Just run. Just start running. Do what everyone's been saying tonight. Just go deep. Just go deep.
Go deep.
Just throw
Bomb
it.
the ball. Bomb your takes.
All right, Crecky. Let's see if everyone was paying attention. Crecky, you're on the air. Go.
All right. Well, first of all, shout out to Vincent Napa. Holy cow, buddy. But I don't want to be the guy that wants to complain about a win. But everything about the game just felt vanilla as hell. Like, we didn't push the ball downfield. Didn't feel like we blitzed very well. But it's a win. I'll take it. I'm happy. Shout out to you guys. Thank you. I'll shut up and listen.
Hey, let's give it up for
Crecky.
Crecky. Pay attention.
Plus.
Good execution.
He can
You executed the assignment.
Caller of the night.
Yeah, give him an award.
He's in the top spot.
All right, so now, Larry, the pressure's on. You're up next. Welcome to Big Red Overreaction. Go, Larry.
Hey, guys. Larry here. First-time caller, by the way. I do like what I saw from the offensive line tonight, and I thought that the receivers, lights out. Absolutely fantastic. Route running was crisp. You guys are never going to beat Michigan State, and we're just a better program than you. Go Green. Go Green.
There it is.
Good to hear from you again,
The
Larry.
official show. We're back on Big Red Overreaction.
That's right. Michigan State forever.
All we're missing is a train. Where's the train?
Where is the train?
And the call of the car full of like three or four callers.
Yeah.
My daughter. Oh,
Exactly.
I have to disagree with one thing he said
All right.
about the offensive line.
Okay.
Turner Corcoran's played a lot of football at Nebraska.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Corkboard.
Yeah, but guess what? There's a reason why Pritchett was third on the depth chart. He cost Nebraska 6.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about it yet.
We have not talked about that penalty.
About it yet.
Hey, but you know what? In one thing, Teddy Prohaska played well tonight.
Yes, he did.
And
He was the one guy that was out
and
there
the
almost all game.
interior offensive line played like we thought.
Yeah.
But they got to figure out left tackle.
I actually thought Pritchett was really good, aside from the back-breaking penalty.
But the
But
thing
you
is-
can't do that.
Which the consistency is the thing that caught up to him, because he would go a couple series where he was mauling people, and then all of a sudden he would be up and down. But
Yeah.
Yeah, Happer, I mean, he pointed at a penalty. And I mean, in that moment, you knew, all right, well, they're going to
that's just a dumb penalty. I mean,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah.
The play
But-
wasn't going to go behind him
Hey,
anyway.
did he
Unreal.
just get Anthony Granted by
Maybe.
his head coach?
Oh,
Anthony
no.
Granted.
Well, because he had said that.
Yeah.
And then he
Gary, I
fumbled.
thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, wow,
Yeah.
this is just like the Minnesota game 2 years ago. And if it would have cost them, if they would have lost the game in the end,
Right.
that would have been, that and the fourth down decision would have been the GOAT plays in the negative way tonight.
402-951-1620, Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. Big Red Overreaction presented by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and participating sponsors include Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. We will be back and have more from Kansas City outside of Arrowhead Stadium. If you happen to be out waiting in the lot, we are just beyond Gate B at Kauffman Stadium, the Price Chopper Gate. Just come find us right behind the motorhome. We'll be back and have more of Overreaction right after this on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
So many drunk people are out here.
Participating sponsors in Big Red Overreaction, Prairie Flower Casino, Play Longer, Win More, and Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems expert. Long line of cars trying to get out of the Truman Sports Complex. If you're out there stuck in that traffic,
oh boy,
and you tell Joey, our call screener and producer back in Omaha, we'll move you to the front of the line. How's
now
that
everybody's just going to say that they're stuck in traffic.
Exactly.
I have something
but remember the rules. Don't ask us how we're doing. Just get to your point.
What do you got to say,
not
Happer?
ask us how you're doing. First of all, thank you. A great point to get across. Also, all off season, everybody's so nice to us. They say, thank you for your company. You've kept me company this entire time.
That's right.
And now we are back in football season, and everybody is mean to each other again.
Oh,
and
my gosh.
It feels great.
Oh, you're happy.
I love the toxicity that Nebraska football brings out in everybody. Even when they win a one-score game,
Happer,
it's time to get angry.
All the people, because I recognize a lot of names that, like, in the lead up to this week, why is Josh keep saying they're going to go 7-5? And now they're like, this team is garbage, and they're going to go 6-6 or 7-5. What are you doing? You can't change your mind that fast. Stick to your guns.
So back.
All right,
my
back to
gosh.
the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. Boys.
We're doing great.
Boys.
Yeah.
Taylor is next.
Taylor.
But which Taylor?
Martinez?
It says Taylor.
I don't know what that means.
And
what's Taylor?
she was at the game tonight, Joe.
Can I say one thing about that? Did you guys
They call her
notice?
Tay-Tay.
But did you notice they were doing a Cincinnati promo on the board during one of the timeouts, and they went to him in the suite, and there was this female arm
They
that
didn't
rubbed
show
his
her.
arm, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
didn't show her.
Oh.
They
She's
didn't
got it
show
on
her at
lockdown.
all in stadium.
By the way, Joey, the call screener for me went down. So if you could bring Taylor up, I would appreciate it.
I got you, John.
Taylor, tell me what's on your mind.
Never mind. I don't got you, John.
Yeah, sorry to bring up the Taylor because you guys didn't hear it, but on the ESPN broadcast, they brought it up quite a bit, including her diamond ring, which was kind of ridiculous. Anyway, I want to talk about the tush push. They ran it right away towards the beginning of the game. I want to say it was one of their first short drives, maybe even like 3rd and 2, and they ran it very successfully. But you didn't see it again the rest of the game. Why not? Let's hear it. Why?
I
what
think
you
they
guys
ran
think
it 3
about
times at least.
Yeah, they ran it at least twice for sure.
I think it was 3 times.
Yeah, at least twice that they ran, and I think you're right, John. Yeah, good play.
Yeah.
Good play. They had good push. I think it got like at least 2 yards on all the attempts. Yeah. I mean, I think that's something that they're going to run more this year.
There was a 3rd and 2 in the second half where I thought, man, they should almost consider trying it from 2 yards out because they were getting 2 yards of crack.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No,
I think it's something we're going to see them use a lot now.
It's a smart play. I mean, he is already a quarterback, so he knows how to take the ball from center, and he's big and physical.
Yep, exactly.
Up next, it's Alan. Hi, Alan. Thanks for waiting. You're on Big Red Overreaction with the Zone Boys.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for taking my call. I tell you what, this is truly an honor. I didn't think I'd ever actually be able to talk to all of the major show hosts all at the same time. So whoever came up with this idea, that was very cool and is very appreciative. So I'm about 11 deep
thank Chris Verdun
into it. And
yeah.
2 of my favorite flowers in my favorite cereal bowl into the game. So my point is that I am what you would call the old white cynic. So
the old white cynic.
There was that point in the 3rd quarter where you could tell they were about ready to drip it down their lane. And I made the call to the people that we were with, and I said, this is what's going to happen. What do you think I said, right? It's what's been happening. It was wonderful. Absolutely wonderful to see a defensive stop. To win a football game, are you kidding me? That was amazing. So, again, I say to you, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I wish we could have a little bit more of a conversation, but I understand there's a delay. So I say to you, it's been a pleasure talking to all of you guys. And I will be calling back without this stupid delay so we can have a little bit more of a conversation and we can have fun finding out who I am. So,
Alan,
I love it. I
Alan,
love it.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Alan.
You got through it. And even though you were 11 deep and probably into the herb collection, the fact that you were cognizant enough to remember about the delay. Well done.
Great
work. Very good.
Well
Very
done.
good. We got to put him in the category. Start the category. The old white cynic.
The old white cynic. Hey, that dude that just walked through here was going to square up with us.
I think he's a zombie.
Wow.
He doesn't know where he is.
Yeah, that guy that just walked through. Hey, one quick thing. This is different. I didn't hear Rule, and I'm sure he was asked, did he make a mention about Bonner? Because he went into the tent. They took his helmet away.
Yeah, they just. I think it was in the opening statement when it was a little garbled there.
Yeah.
And he said they didn't know anything.
Yeah.
And it was an ugly hit. I mean, it looked like he took it right on the knee. So, best wishes to Janiron Bonner.
And that was a play that they had run last year for a touchdown against Rutgers. And that was good prep by Cincinnati because they recognized it immediately.
We head back to the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. Hello, Jeff.
Hey, guys. I'm in Papillion. I didn't make the trek down to Kansas City. But I want to know, like, when we're talking about play calling is always about this is the play that will give our players the best opportunity to do what they do. And I'm not sure that the play calling tonight convinces me that we have what we want to have against, let's say, Big Ten opponents. What do you guys think about the play calling tonight and how it's going to end up for the rest of the season? And because of the delay, I'm just going to hang up. I'm going to tell you you're doing a great job. And I love everything what's going on tonight.
Wow. That is
Well
Jeff. Excellent work yet again.
Well done, Jeff.
I was pretty surprised at how conservative they were. I mean, they must have that had to be a part of their plan because they knew that they were going to shell them and all those things. But I just thought they'd be a heck of a lot more aggressive and crisp on offense.
Though I will say this, that sequencing of plays right after Cincinnati pulled within 3 in the fourth quarter, when they went to the pass and they went to the sideline on long throws 3 times in a row, I liked that. I mean, I know there's some people that are frustrated with how Dylan played tonight, but I thought those were his 3 best throws of the evening because those were at least 20-yard throws across the field from the middle to the deep sideline, and it got the drive started. I know it didn't end up in points, but it changed the field position and thus made Cincinnati eventually go the length of the field at the end of the game. So I like that. I like those play calls. Very aggressive, but they trusted their quarterback in that spot, and he came through.
Yeah, and I mean, certainly trust him on the 4th down. I thought the play calling was up and down. You know, like the drives when they moved the ball, it seemed like the rhythm was absolutely there, and everybody was working in concert, especially the drive right before Pritchett had the penalty, the drive that scored the touchdown on that 4th down. I thought that looked really good. Other times, though, like Happer said, I mean, conservative is the word from tonight's game. And how much of that was game plan specific versus how much of it was reacting to what Cincinnati was doing?
I think that's a question that we'll go back and revisit in a couple of weeks.
Yes.
I also think they were caught between tonight of being slow and deliberate and then going tempo. Because when they started to go tempo, especially at the beginning of a drive or a couple of plays in, I thought that they looked a lot crisper and the play calling started to make more sense. But then later in the game, kind of looking at the clock or whatever, they kind of slowed back down again. So they have to choose a balance on what they're doing. I don't know. I think they're going to
never really cut it loose, though.
I think they're going to look at their perimeter blocking and go, it wasn't up to par. That did not set up some things they tried to run. But I think, don't you guys think they thought they would run the ball better? Now, and this is saying Emmett Johnson ran for over 100 yards, but I'm talking the overall scope that they thought they'd have a little bit more success running the football.
They absolutely did, but it shows you how big of a drop-off it is between RB1 and RBs 2 and 3. I mean,
if there was any doubt before.
Seriously.
There's no doubt now.
You knew it when Nelson got his first carry and when Mosey got his first carry. I mean, you recognize it immediately. I couldn't help but think of what Michael's been saying to us for months. Yeah. He runs like a wide receiver, that being him being Mosey.
Yeah.
And right away, it's just like, oh, man. And after that, they didn't trust him.
Well, let me say about Nelson, because I'm a big fan of Nelson. So he was in on 3rd down, and he got blown up trying to protect the quarterback, and he was done.
And that's another thing, too. Yeah. If you can't protect the quarterback, they're not going to trust you. Prairie Flower Casino, play longer, win more. Participating sponsors in Big Red Overreaction also include Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. Back to the hotline where we say hello to Midnight Joey. Midnight Joey, what's up, Midnight?
Yo, what's up, John, Josh, and Gary? Hey, man, it's Midnight Joey. I know you guys are 5-6 seconds behind, but Joey Colbert said he'd give me a minute. So let's talk for a minute as I sit here and you guys listen as I ramble. I don't know what to think, guys. 20-17, I'm kind of head thumped because, to be honest with you, I didn't see nothing surprising. It was kind of like my dad said. He's a baby boomer from 1960. He goes, same old, same old. And I go, you know what, Dad? You're right. Like, what has changed? Let's get down to the knit and grit. Let's get down there, guys. Hey, let's get back to the old school fundamentals. Let's play ball. Let's play tough. And let's figure it out. But, guys, I'm not convinced. I know Matt Rule, God bless him, he's lost a lot of weight and he looks good. But, like, let's get the kids on the same program. Let's go. Guys, I don't know what to think. I know you guys are watching cars go out the parking lot out of Arrowhead and in Kansas City Royal Stadium. But, guys, like I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not convinced. I don't know. Let's get to 3-0 going into Michigan, and then let's see what's going on. Because, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, like, I'm not going to sleep tonight, and I don't know what to think. The product was not the same thing as I was preached all off season. If you guys
appreciate it, Midnight Joey.
He got cut.
His minute was up. His minute was up.
That was more than a minute.
It was 90 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So we counted wrong. One thing, if you're,
Good
and
job,
I know a lot
Joey.
of people now are
John
mentioning.
People are cutting promos tonight.
John killed him. Wow, I thought John liked the callers. Interesting, John.
Hey, couch boy.
Interesting.
Couch boy.
I can't wait. I don't have to share a room with you tonight, John. Oh, I'm so excited for Popeyes.
I ain't getting no
This is the
ticket
worst
to
day ever. I
Popeye.
don't have my edge rusher anymore and no Popeyes tomorrow.
He's the favorite now to win the defensive player.
Yes, 4-1. Congratulations.
We've said this from the jump about this defensive line that they've got to. We think they're going to grow as the season goes. That they've got to get better quicker. The clock is ticking for a Big Ten team that will line up the football.
Oh my gosh, that Michigan game?
Yes, because tonight,
3 weeks.
Tonight, Cincinnati gave you a blueprint.
3 weeks from now, 2:30 Memorial Stadium. That is the game where we're going to learn a lot about what they're able to do.
Yeah, because these next two games aren't going to teach us much of anything.
No, they definitely won't.
Equitable Bank, we take banking personally, and No Name Nutrition, live a better, healthier, more natural life. Our title sponsors this season for Big Red Overreaction, 402-951-1620. Give us a jingle. We will be back, and don't forget, a little bit later on, Matt McMaster and Josh Odson will take you the rest of the way from Zone House. We are back here at Arrowhead Stadium, site of Nebraska's 20-17 win over Cincinnati to open the season on 1620 The Zone and 101.9 The Keg. Overreaction brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, by Prairie Flower Casino, play longer, win more, and by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts. For those of you who had the under, congrats. That was an easy hit tonight. That'll be the 7th straight game where Nebraska's total is closed at 50 or above, and the under has hit. So, it'll take some time to get some more points on the board.
By the way, so Jack Mitchell, our dear friend, is stuck in traffic. He was like, I'm going to get to my car and leave. He's just been sitting there. He hasn't moved at all. And Mike Schaefer has a great idea. New postgame idea, the Parking Lot Podcast. A host works the parking lot as it sits in a standstill and interviews fans while discussing the game that just occurred.
Gary, any interest?
Start wandering around,
This
Gary.
has got you written all over it.
You do like talking to random people.
Yeah, but there's some people that are hammered here tonight that have looked to square up.
Well, you
against
hope
us.
they're not the ones behind the wheel.
Yeah, Gary's worried that someone's going to come and punch him in his face.
That guy that just walked through, he stood here and stared at us, and he was wobbling. I was like, that guy's going to start throwing.
We head back to the Jay Stinnett Contracting
Lots of
Hotline.
couples fighting, too.
Oh, man, come on. It's only the first game. Mitch, did you drop off?
Yeah,
Mitch,
it looks
you there?
like Mitch is gone.
Goodbye, Mitch.
Mitch is gone. Here is Steve. Good evening, I should say, Steve. Good morning, Steve.
I just want to say, first off, good job on getting the W. But as far as the pass rush goes, how do you feel about that? Do you think it was more the quarterback? They were worried about the quarterback running the ball, so they didn't really rush the passer. Because I felt like we didn't get any pass rush. And also, I want to thank Gary for Kyle Schwarber as a Phillies fan for those 4 home runs tonight. Thanks, guys. I'll listen to you.
Oh, damn it. Oh, man.
Nice, Steve.
4 of them.
Yes, he hit 4.
4. And then he had an at-bat for a 5th, and he popped out.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't the pass rush question, to go back to what he asked originally, I mean, that was the concern that we had, not just about tonight, but about the entire season.
Yeah.
I said it on the pregame show earlier. Last year, people were saying, I can't wait for next year because all these young guys are going to get an opportunity. I was pleased with Winery. I thought that he made his presence known.
He got a lot of minutes. He had a lot of snaps.
He was out there a lot. He got some pressure. He tipped some balls.
They had combinations. Winery and Lenhart together looked really good. I thought McCullough, and they bounced him from, depending on who is at the strong side, they bounced him around a lot on the defensive line. I think that when they had chances to get home, they weren't able to finish it because of Sorsby.
Yeah. And so part of it was there may have been a little bit of a mush rush just to keep him contained a little bit.
And they did a solid job, right, for the most part.
Yeah, he didn't really break away.
It took until the second half.
The one that he broke away,
the 30-yard
is
run,
one of the most awful plays I've seen out of a defensive end. Willis McGahee rushes and takes an angle, and he flies right by Sorsby.
Man.
And instead of staying home to contain at that position, and at that jack position, all of a sudden it's wide open, and Sorsby has that long run.
Yeah. Yes, I think some of it was just kind of how they had it defended. And I don't remember seeing a lot of extra pressure tonight. A lot more.
Rob just texted into the show and basically asked that same question.
Yeah.
Like, what was the blitz rate? And then he added, I think it was
if it was
vanilla.
They ran a stunt early. We were all talking about this. Didn't they run a stunt early that Cincinnati picked up?
Yes.
And they never went back to any
They were
twisting
doing
or
a
anything.
bunch of stuff on the defensive line. And on top of all that, how many guys did they play? I mean,
they played.
Yeah, yet again,
they
they
played
rotated
everybody.
They played everyone.
And going back to McCullough real quick, there was the drive that Cincinnati had, the tip ball where he stayed home and almost turned into a
big six.
But that ended up being a really important play because that stalled the drive. And even though they eventually got another touchdown and made it close, still
that was huge.
That was big because I believe that was the stop that set up the touchdown drive that got Nebraska up 20-10. So I thought McCullough, there was a moment in the first half where he didn't look particularly good, but I thought in the second half he played pretty well.
Yeah, I agree.
Mike is up next. Hi, Mike. You're on Big Red Overreaction.
How we doing, boys? My first question is, did Connor hang out with Allen? Because he's on the screen and not saying a damn word. So he's up in northern Missouri. Yeah, doing what he needs to do. Number 2, let's talk about Jack Mitchell. I love the groin kick chronicles, but that boy can make his own groin kicks. His life is a groin kick, Josh, and he can make the best situation the worst. The amount of tweets that man had talking about how bad Arrowhead Stadium was and how many Cincinnati fans were around him cracks me up. I-80 Club for life. Love you guys. Go Big Red, and all these people calling about how bad the team is after a win.
This is no place to be promoting other people's stuff.
Okay. All right. All right. I'm here, by the way.
Yeah, Happer is here.
I am.
And don't put it on the internet that horn scared me.
No. Definitely didn't
Don't
happen
put it
at
on the internet.
It hit at the same time as the caller did, and then he hit the tree, and it looked like the tree was going to fall over.
Yeah.
Let me say this about Arrowhead. Where are the scoreboards?
I know, man. It's terrible.
What's going on?
What's going on with your stadium, Gary?
And listen,
What's wrong with you?
they got high school fields that got bigger video boards than that.
Oh, come on.
Good grief.
Okay.
Act like
Get out
you've
the
been a champion
bulldozer. We're
before.
moving downtown.
I'm going to stand up for my football stadium.
All right.
The ribbon boards don't normally look like that, and they don't stay the same advertisement.
What did they do? Fire the guy that runs the other one?
I don't know. They have stats like where they had the down and distance score and all that stuff on the side above the main wraparound ribbon boards. Usually those have stats. They just, like it was we know a little backstory about the logistics of tonight.
Yeah.
Like who was involved in stats and all that kind of stuff. It was, that's not a normal look for a Chiefs game.
It looked like a normal look because it was all red in there.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
Yeah,
with
the
the scoreboards were really awful tonight.
Yeah, they were. I had
Good
to look
take by the
around.
callers.
Maybe keep Kauffman Stadium, bulldoze Arrowhead.
Interesting.
And start anew.
Interesting.
I mean, that one
Trade Mahomes.
The one video
To the
board,
Cowboys.
the video board at Kauffman is bigger than this whole stadium practically.
It is a great point by John.
See, Connor has takes.
I'm in northern Missouri.
You guys realize that Nebraska is
here we
going to
go.
come back here in about 5 years.
To do what?
They're going to
Play in the
week
World
one-
Cup?
They're going to play a week 1 game here sooner than later.
Stibbs chimes in,
And
by the
hopefully
way.
by then they
So-
actually put a video board in
So
there.
the Dannon discussion apparently with a fellow SEC athletic director is about a game here.
Oh.
maybe 5 years down the road.
Interesting. Stibbs writes, been telling you guys for years that place is a trash can.
Stibbs, once again, aging well.
Well, he did say Nebraska would lose this game, so that take hasn't aged the best. But,
But
you
they
know, you
didn't
win
cover.
some, you lose some.
They didn't cover.
You win some, you lose some.
All
yes,
right.
I know.
It's Joe in Vegas, guys.
Oh, boy.
Hello, Joe.
Gentlemen, how are you doing this evening? First of all, guys, get home safe tonight because it sounds like it's just going to be an absolute joke down there. Second of all, for all the naysayers that are all worried about the season, let me make one example from last year. Oregon played Idaho the first week of the year at home, not on a neutral site, not against the Power Four, but against Idaho. And they won by 7 points. And how did they end up doing? Nebraska brought in a ton of new recruits, a ton of transfers. They're a young team. Let's focus on the fact that for the second consecutive game, if you count last year's bowl game, Nebraska was staring defeat from the jaws of victory like they normally used to do, and they found a way to win. And isn't that all we really care about? I'm just curious. And by the way, I haven't been drinking at all today. I was down here at Circa at the sports book, and we actually behaved so I could call tonight. And I just wanted to call in because I thought tonight would be special.
Joe, appreciate
A
the call.
subdued
So
Joe.
Yeah, this seems, I'm a little worried.
Yeah,
now.
seriously. Hopefully everything's okay.
That's all right. He'll be back.
Hey,
this
you know
room,
what?
so.
This is, to go back to what he said at the beginning of the call, comparing it to last year's Oregon. Like, I don't think Nebraska's going to turn into last year's Oregon.
Yeah.
But if there was ever a start to the season where you hope the most growth is between game 1 and game 2, that this is one of those. You escaped with a victory. You have a chance to play an Akron team that somehow took Wyoming to the wire tonight. They lost 10-0. And a chance to pick up a couple of wins before Michigan comes to town in 3 weeks.
Remember, it's only the second opening night win or opening week win in, 6 years?
Yeah.
6 seasons?
Yeah, and the first in against a power school since 2003 in the opener. That's a long time.
And they were generally clean tonight, too. No turnovers.
Zero
but
turnovers.
Are we counting almost turnovers?
They had
because
what?
they had probably 3 or 4.
They had
of
the
those.
fumble that Dillon somehow recovered.
Yes.
They had the dropped interception that would have gone for 6.
Yeah, and there was another one, too. So I think he had at least 3 turnover-worthy plays.
Yeah,
His
he
ball-
got lucky.
His ball security, that turnover that came right back to him.
That was
fumble,
insane, Gary.
His ball security looks a lot like last year.
It does, and that needs to improve. Let's head back to the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. It's Randy. Hey there, Randaroo.
Hey, this is Randy from Elkhorn. How you guys doing? Can you hear me?
Wonderful.
Yeah, we got you.
We got you. Go.
Just go.
Hey, 2 quick questions. Was that Dana Holgerson's offense out there, or was Matt Rule calling those plays? And then second question is, was that actually Dylan Raiola out there playing, or was it the second coming of Spencer Petras? That's all I got.
Great call.
Great questions.
What a call.
Excellent questions.
What do you got for the answers, Happer?
I don't think it was Spencer Petras.
Okay. Do you think it was Rule calling the offense?
I also don't think that.
Hmm,
Who gets the credit for going for it on 4th down and hitting
Holgerson, just Holgerson.
That was the one Holgerson play.
That was the one good Holgerson play. Everything else is Rule's fault.
Called by Rule.
Damn it, Rule.
See, we've reached that spot where now you don't touch Dana because he's got the reputation. So now if the offense doesn't look good, we blame somebody else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, does anything? How much changes for you guys compared to what you thought about this team 5 hours ago?
That's
Listen,
the question.
I promised that I was not going to overreact.
The show is called Overreaction, John.
But I don't have to. I'm going to wait and see. We'll see. But honestly, we have to wait until the Michigan game to really get a good look at what's going to happen.
Great. Start the countdown.
Now, I mean, there
you
are
have my permission.
22 days.
But
There's a round table.
There's obvious things that we know there's a problem with. There's a problem with the backup running back.
Absolutely.
And that was something we were worried about, right? Because I never was buying. I was never buying. Oh my gosh.
Was that exhaust? Dear Lord.
Oh
I think I think the Husker Power Bus just blew up.
But I was never buying into the running back situation beyond Emmett Johnson, and so tonight I leave feeling stronger.
You got confirmation.
I think the thing that you leave and you just wonder about is the lack of aggressiveness going downfield. How much of it was how they were defended? But even, John, Gary and Happer, let's say that it's how they were defended. If I'm another team, don't I just say, let's do this exact same thing?
Yeah.
And not everybody will be able to. Akron can't defend them that way. Houston Christian, but Michigan probably will be able to defend them that way if they want to.
Absolutely.
And so will other teams on the schedule, Minnesota, etc.
Well, and the other thing, too, is Cincinnati didn't put a lot of pressure on Dylan tonight. You know?
No, not really.
There were a lot of times where Dylan had all day to find a receiver.
Yeah, and guys, once again.
And that's where the running game comes in. It was those drives where Nebraska faced a 2nd and long. It usually spelled bad things. They got to get ahead of the chains. And those times where they didn't get ahead of the chains, most of those times those drives failed.
There was also a thing tonight, and this was a little Emmett. They had some key drops.
Yeah.
Emmett did have a drop,
Yeah, Emmett followed that big drop late with a nice, 11-yard run, but that drop sucked. It very much sucked.
402-951-1620. We're going to take you to the top of the hour, and then Matt McMaster and Josh Odson back at Zone House will take you the rest of the way. So you're getting like a tag team.
Nice
edition of Big Red Overreaction. Big Red Overreaction this season is presented by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and by No Name Nutrition, live a better, healthier, more natural life. Callers, stay right there. We're coming back to more of your reaction, overreaction, tonight from Arrowhead Stadium on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The King. Oh, my God. We're doing a show from a parking lot, and it shows. It's Big Red Overreaction, powered this season by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, by Prairie Flower Casino, Play Longer, Win More, and by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts.
We're going to get a picture of the bus now because that thing's about
thing
to
made it
blow
all
up.
the way from the Harlan County Reservoir.
It's going to explode.
Because that bus is going to kill the 5 of us standing here.
Before we get back to the calls, Happer has some interesting news from the road.
I've heard from a couple different people now who have reached out on behalf of Platte City, Missouri.
Oh, no.
And they have apparently closed the exit to get into Platte City in both directions.
What have you done, Connor?
I don't know what's happening right now at the Platte City QT, but it cannot be good.
I'm guessing the one overnight clerk was like, I can't handle this anymore. Please close the exit.
So we'll be calling Ryan, the store manager, back on Monday and asking how things went.
I think they ran out of slushies.
Heck, remember, tomorrow is Friday. You could call them tomorrow on Friday.
Yeah, they still got a little bit of a storm coming tomorrow.
Yeah.
See, I got a feeling we're going to drive by that thing tomorrow on the way back, and it's just going to be a glowing ember.
Yeah, because people are going to say, you didn't let me in on Thursday night.
I needed that roller item.
Nebraskans have broken Missouri.
We really have. I saw comments earlier today like, how could they not handle us coming on the interstate? Like, people were mad at the interstate today. Like, guys, sometimes things happen. It's going to be all right.
Oh, 402-951-1620 on the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. Let's head off and talk to Wayne. Good night, Wayne. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just wanted to get your feedback on a couple of things. The first one was it didn't seem like we had a spy on Sorsby. I was just like, he seemed like an afterthought. If he would have run the ball every play, I think they could have beat us. But the other point that I thought was really ridiculous was when Rule called a timeout when it was 4th and 7 on that last drive, and they were rattled, and that gave them time. It was the perfect play call for Cincinnati because that gave them time to set their play up for that 4th and 7. We should have just run that out. So that's all I wanted to say. Interested in your feedback.
Thanks, Wayne.
So the timeout that he's referring to,
not the last drive.
Yeah, it was the last. I think they called a timeout on the last drive.
Oh,
when it was 4th and 7, and then they converted. I think.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be honest. We were trying to get all settled there, so I can't speak to that one. Now I could speak to the one in the.
Well, he asked about not having a spy, and I don't know if they necessarily had one. I know this: they weren't trying to bring extra pressure, and they were trying to keep him in front.
Yeah.
And the times, well, of course, there was the one scramble he got away, but in the second half, they started to use him on a little more design plays where he would get to the outside and get off to the edge, and those seemed to work pretty well. But I think for the most part, especially in the first half, they did a decent job of keeping him because you could tell they were worried about his legs.
Yeah. And he was able to break through. He had the nice run in the second half. He had the touchdown run in the second half. I thought that for the most part, they did a pretty good job of containing him. Do you have the numbers in front of you right now, Happer?
Well, yeah.
What did Sorsby finish it on the ground? Now, because through the air, he only had 69 yards. He was
13 carries for 96 yards.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it did. When you get a 30-yarder in there, it's really going to help out.
Amy is next. Hi, Amy. Welcome to Big Red Overreaction. Sadly.
Oh, no. Is Amy gone?
I think Amy is gone.
Sad.
What you gonna do?
Hang up on you. That's what we're doing.
Well,
see ya!
John, it's your turn. Hi, John. I hope you're still there.
I'm still here. I know you guys are busy, so I'll be as quick as I can. One, the defense was the same as last year. Pretty good until the end. Yeah, they got to stop. That was great. But they're still going to lose a lot of games if they play like that. But two, going for it on 4th down and 3rd quarter reminded me of Ireland. It was the same stupid stuff.
Whoa.
And then Dylan missed 2 wide open receivers on 4th down.
Yep.
If he had taken a 3-step drop for a 3-yard play, he's got 2 guys wide open. What do you guys think about that?
You are absolutely right on the one to begin the second half. He had a guy wide open.
Yeah, he did.
He never saw him.
I don't think. By the way, I don't think the fourth down. It didn't remind me of Ireland. You know what it reminded me of?
I don't think it was a bad decision.
It reminded me of the Wisconsin game in 2023. Nebraska's up 14-0, and they wanted to put their foot down, and they wanted to try to go up by 3 scores. They were unable to there. They were unable to go up by 3 scores because they could sense it, and I think we all could sense it in that moment. I heard, what has Michael been saying about Sean lately, about how he jinxed things at the Iowa game? He said something similar at the end of the first half. Man, they're going to get a touchdown, and the game could be pretty much over. And I'm like, uh-oh, here we go again. Well, but seriously, he recognized that moment, and they tried to end the game.
They did. They tried to end it. And remember, by that point, Cincinnati hadn't been moving the ball yet. So
they had not.
So it was a little bit of confidence in, hey, if we don't get this, our defense is going to stop.
So the last 11 plays that Cincinnati ran in the first half, they had 17 total yards. So you think we're going to throw a knockout punch because that's what we want to be known for. And then it's almost like when they didn't get it, Cincinnati was like, oh, it's still only 13-3.
By the way, this is not Cincinnati overreaction, but that sequence at the end of the first half,
oh my
play
God,
calling by Satterfield is some of the dumbest crap I have ever seen. I mean, they got bailed out when they had the 2nd and 2 and decided to throw, and it ended up losing them 3 yards.
Yep.
But they got bailed out when Sorsby ran that designed edge play and got the first down. And then what do? They go back to the pass, and that's the play that turns
80
into
whatever
fumble.
yards away.
You had a minute left. You were not going to drive the length of the field. That was just some of the dumbest coaching. I mean, think about where this game could have ended up if Cincinnati just runs out the clock.
Yeah.
Because at that point,
the game completely changed.
They go into the locker room down 6-3 when they had no business being down 6-3 because it felt like it should have been 21-3 at that point.
Yeah, the game completely changed in that moment with that decision-making by them. And by the way, there's a few people that have mentioned it, and we haven't talked a ton about special teams tonight, but Nebraska's special teams, outside of a couple decisions to return, was really good. Have we mentioned that they made a 50-plus yard field goal again? They made another field goal. There were no issues in any of the snaps.
2 punts inside the 10.
The punting from Archie was really, really good. It wasn't flashy. It was just really, really consistent.
Yeah, and that certainly wasn't
bad.
It just needed to be
exactly.
solid
It's just so you got to fix the return stuff. The punt returns were nowhere near impressive, but things were fine.
Jordan is up next on the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline. Good evening, Jordan. Thanks for waiting. You're on Big Red Overreaction. Jordan
is gone.
Jordan
goodbye.
Is gone. They're about ready to run us out of here, I believe.
Uh-huh.
We're going to take you.
Matt Nodson, I hope you're ready to go, baby.
Yeah, we got about 5 minutes left here from our location, and then Matt and Josh will take you the rest of the way. Here is Wade.
Strong-arm the security here.
Wow. Wade, what's up, man?
I realize from an aesthetic standpoint, this isn't what anybody wanted, but we went into halftime, all the momentum. We come out in the third quarter. We get the ball first. We get to a 4th down at their 42-yard line, and we go for it. And all we heard about for the last couple of weeks leading into this game is what a weapon that our new punter was. And he had proven he could down the ball inside the 10-yard line, and we didn't use him in that situation. And I sat there and I said, man, if we get this, we probably roll. If we don't, this is going to end up being a close game. Well, we didn't get it. Use the guy you touted for the last couple of weeks going into the game. Not only that, this was a weird game. What I mean is, how many times have we said this was a weird game in the last several years? How many times do you have a 39-minute, 30-second to 20-minute and 30-second advantage in time of possession? You're +2 in the turnover margin. You convert 10 of 18 on your third downs. They only convert 3 of 10, 30%. And the only area they really hurt us in was rushing yards, 202. And the majority of that came from the quarterback in the second half. This should have been a 17-point game easy. And I'm shocked because I've been calling in and listening to the show for the last several years that nobody has brought any of those things up.
I mean, I can't disagree with you, Wade. They especially in the first half, they should have been up at least 2 scores. They wasted some opportunities.
Yeah, I tell you, he asked, when have we ever seen this before? I don't know. Every game
I was going to say, the whole time it's unfolding, I'm like, wow, it's kind of reminiscent of Iowa last year, where it's like the first down advantage is way in Nebraska's favor. And this one, it was different because the thing that Nebraska did not do tonight is make the back-breaking mistake. They got away with a couple where they almost gave the ball to Cincinnati, but they did not make the back-breaking mistake. But otherwise, yeah. When have I last seen it? I don't know. 8 months ago, 9 months ago?
And strap in, because there's going to be a lot of them like this.
Yeah, seriously.
there are.
They're going to be in some close
Hopefully
games.
not the next two, but
Yes.
I think the thing you worry about coming out of this game tonight, and we're going to have plenty of time to talk about this in the days and weeks to come, but it did look very similar to last year. You know, it looked similar. And what was it, 2 callers ago? Defense was really good until it wasn't. The offense would have some good plays until they didn't. It was just a very inconsistent up and down night for everybody, except for really the special teams, which, you know, that's a win.
Much more similar than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought we'd see a different looking team tonight.
Yeah.
So they got some work to do.
A lot of work to do.
All right, Gary, you ready to do a show in 5 hours?
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna.
Are you dead from exhaust poisoning yet?
Yes, that was the North Texans from Nebraska were receiving a bill.
I have mesothelioma
for your lung cancer. So that'll wrap it up from here at Arrowhead. But coming up next after the break, we'll send it across the way about 20 minutes from here to Zone House, where Matt McMaster and Josh Odson will take you the rest of the way. So Tyler and Kevin and Joel and Steve and Justin, stay right there. We will have more Big Red Overreaction coming up next here on 1620 The Zone and 1019 The Keg.
Live from 1620 The Zone TikTok house. I'm Matt McMaster here, joined by Josh Odson. Shout out to Josh. Connor, Gary, and John for holding the fort down over at the Arrowhead parking lot. As Shawn Michaels tags in for Marty Jannetty, the Rockers are here as the Nebraska Cornhuskers absolutely tore the house down over at Arrowhead Stadium. You like the wrestling reference?
Which rocker am I?
We are Marty Jannetty.
Oh, we're Marty. Oh,
we're
yes.
Marty Jannetty.
Yes,
But we
okay.
both agree. We are Marty Jannetty. They're the Shawn Michaels. Sorry if you don't understand wrestling references. Matt McMaster here with Josh Hodson. Big red overreaction here on 1620 The Zone. We want to thank our supporting sponsor, Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, and by Prairie Flower Casino and Peerless Energy Systems. Look, there isn't a lot that can be said that wasn't already said in a parking lot at Arrowhead Stadium that seemed to be filled with bus and exhaust over there that seemed like our great co-hosts were all choking down on. But I will say this before we get into a lot of calls that we have to get to here. There were plenty of moments during today's game at Arrowhead Stadium that you probably said to yourself, here we go again. The Huskers are going to do it. The Huskers are going to choke. The Huskers are going to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. And yes, there are a lot of things that need to be fixed, that need to be addressed.
A lot of work to do.
Yeah, plenty of work to do, okay? And we totally get it. And don't get me wrong, for the next 3 weeks leading up to Michigan, we will be talking plenty about it. But you know what? Josh Hodson,
Matt McMaster,
past regimes and past eras of Nebraska football would have lost this game.
Yes.
They would have found a way. And I'm sure that everybody sitting at home when the 4th and 7 was there, they knew deep down in their hearts that Cincinnati was going to convert it. I'm sure while right before Malcolm Hartzog made an incredible play and interception to seal this win for Nebraska, that people thought that was going to end up a Cincinnati touchdown and absolutely break the hearts of Husker fans. But you know what? It did not happen. Nebraska football got a 1-score victory tonight. They won a game by 3 points, a game that has happened 5 times before in the Matt Rule era, and every single time Matt Rule and his team had lost that game. But tonight was not that night. And while, like I said before, we are going to talk a lot over the next 2 weeks about there needing to be more of a pass rush. There needing to be more of a contribution from the second running back so that the tight ends not named Luke Lindenmeyer are going to need to block better, so on and so forth. But for tonight, Nebraska is victorious, and we want to hear all your thoughts about it. 402-951-1620 Zone, the Prairie Flower Casino hotline. Before we go there, and Joey sends me all the names of the people that we have to get to, Mr. Josh Hodson, your thoughts on the game.
Very quickly, because I want the callers to get in. They've stayed up late with us tonight, and we appreciate it.
Yes.
Look, yes, I kind of agree with you, lockstep. It didn't feel great. It looked all right at times. It looked like that same old.
Sure.
At times, you're 1-0. You beat a Power 4 team in your opening game. We've seen that. Josh Peterson did a 70
episode.
70 episode.
Or sorry. What is it? 10 episodes, 70 games.
70 games ranked them. That would have been certainly top 20, I think, because of the crowd and but we don't have to worry about that.
No, we don't.
You got 2 weeks where it's no disrespect to the opponent. It's a free pass to get better.
It is.
For Michigan.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It for sure is. And look, Nebraska, without a doubt, outplayed Cincinnati tonight. And I think that we can all agree, despite that, there definitely are some things that Nebraska needs to clean up as the weeks go on heading into Michigan. They still left some points on the board. Like, make no mistake. Turnover on downs, you convert one of those, you end up probably getting a field goal. Elijah Pritchett will definitely be a topic of conversation because of his acquisition within the transfer portal and the reported rumors of how much that he's been paid. And
$1 million.
yeah, whether it's even lower than that, if it's close to that, that's way too much for a guy who made some costly mistakes, which I do want to say this. Connor Happer made a really good point.
He always does.
During the first part of this Big Red Overreaction, I agree with him. I did think that there were times where Elijah Pritchett really did look like that former 5-star Alabama commit and Alabama starter.
Nobody's going to remember that.
What they're going to remember is the false start. And then on top of that, people are going to talk about the false start that happened to the 1-yard line. He also, the next ensuing play that was still first down and goal on the 6, let the DN go right by him and tackle Emmett Johnson. And I think in that fourth quarter where Dylan Raiola on the drive that could have potentially sealed the game before the Malcolm Hartzog interception, he did allow that sack. And so you have 3 probably of the biggest mistakes on the offensive line all made by him, even though that he did still have some pretty good moments. But like we said, or like Matt Rule said, rather, it's been a lot about the inconsistency. And another great shout from Big Red Overreaction before us, Gary Sharp, who said he kind of Anthony Granted Elijah Pritchett, if you will, kind of saying, hey, we can't trust a guy who does these certain things. And then that guy did those certain things. But overall, we are looking at ourselves right now on YouTube in the 1620 The Zone TikTok house.
That's right.
What does the score say? Nebraska 20, Cincinnati 17. Nebraska is 1-0 for the first time in 22 years. They beat a Power 5 team in week 1 of a season. For the second time in 6 years, they are 1-0 to begin the year. So while the criticism, and there will be plenty of it, is warranted, Nebraska wins a game that over the last decade and maybe even decade and a half has lost plenty. In saying all of that, we go to the phone lines. Joey Colbert, pick who you want because I haven't been told.
Give me Kevin. It's in the chat here. It's let's hear from Kevin.
Okay, I can't see it.
Kevin is listed first.
Kevin, go ahead.
First time listener, long time caller.
Thank you, Kevin.
I thought Nebraska should have definitely won by 17, and that's not just because I had them at 16.5.
Whoa, big
the
number.
Offense.
I like it. That's a very big number.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know we could talk back and
Go
forth.
ahead.
With the delay on the last.
No, no. We don't have a delay here.
Josh Peterson hates the callers so much. He said, "Look, I'll do the RV show, but I'm not talking to the callers."
There you go. Well, I mean the positives.
We would never.
Special team stepped up today, right? And
big time.
We won a gritty game. But to me, I felt the things that kind of hurt me or questioned me was all the hype that we've had going into this season. I thought that we would be bigger, faster, stronger than what we exhibited tonight. The offense-wise, play call was abysmal. It just wasn't there, wasn't leading us. We didn't get no downfield passes. I mean, but one, it's a little atrocious to me. Defense played mediocre with a couple of great plays. And I think all the big names that we've been looking forward to, I didn't see them really step up, except for Isaiah Hunter. That boy's a baller. And Ja'Cory Barney.
Appreciate it, Kevin. Thank you so much for calling in. Absolutely right. I mean, Hunter and Barney look really good tonight. I do think I won't call Dana Holgerson's play calls necessarily atrocious, but I do think that it kind of went series to series at times, especially when they were going quick. When they had some tempo, I feel like the offense definitely moved in a more smoother fashion.
I'd be interested to hear the explanation, and hopefully it's some version of the truth. Like he's not just getting up there and go, well, they play shell. We didn't want to bother with it, so we played underneath it all day. Like, okay, like, yeah, but like go a little deeper on that.
Eventually, you're going to have to go through that.
Was it because it was the first game and
Yeah.
you were just kind of?
There are other teams that are
like-
going to play some shells. There are other teams that are going to have a lot of guys back. Like, and John kind of brought it up earlier. You just want to see them sometimes take some shots. Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair and Big Red Overreaction also brought to you by Player Fowler Casino. Play longer, win more. We go to Joel. Joel, what do you got for me, my man?
Hi, Joel.
Joel. Going once. All right, we'll go to Steve. Steve, you are on Big Red Overreaction, which is brought to you by Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air system experts. Joel.
No, Steve.
Or sorry, Steve.
Hi, guys. Hey, listen, very concerning, which was echoed earlier by some previous callers. Time of possession and some of the play calling should have gone deeper downfield. We should have won this game easily by 17, 20 points. In addition to that, it's very concerning our defensive line. As a matter of fact, the front seven, you gave up over 202 yards rushing. That equivalent to like 6.7, 6.8 yards per carry. You take Sorsby's run of 29 yards away, you're still allowing 6 yards to carry. That ranks around 134th in the country. I tell you what, you're going to Big Ten play, that thing needs to get fixed ASAP. So I know it's one game. It's one game. And prior to going into this game, everybody was talking about how we were going to manhandle their offensive line with their 4 new starters. It was very concerning, I thought. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a lot worse than when you head into a season being like, hey, this is going to be a big concern for this unit. And then that ends up kind of coming to fruition
right away.
There were definitely moments, especially in my opinion, when 90 and 5 were out there, where it just seemed like the middle of that defensive line was just open for gashing. It's just like
Look at you, 90 and 5. You're such a football guy. I love
Jalen George and Riley Van Poppel. I don't think, and look, I have a show in 5 hours that we will dive, probably more deep.
Don't waste the good stuff on me.
Okay? No. But there were definitely moments where you're like, all right, I can kind of understand why people were really concerned about the running defense for sure.
Oh yeah, that's something you're going to write down. You're going to look at that. And unfortunately, the next 2 weeks, like you're not if you see something that looks like improvement, you're not going to believe it, right? Like that's the double-edged sword of an Akron and a Houston Christian where, yeah, you can get better in those 2 games, but it could be fool's gold.
I definitely do think that Akron and Houston Christian will be beneficial in the matter that like you will find more of the groupings and units and pairs.
What pairings work?
Because you only can do that so much within camp. All right, we'll go to Tyler. Tyler, what you got for us, my man?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. How are you, Tyler?
Good. All right. So I just wanted to say, like, obviously it could have been better. It could have been worse. We all know that. We've talked about it. But they never wavered, no matter what adversity came to them tonight, which was big. That was big because they had a lot of adversity. And the other thing I want to point out that I don't think a lot of people are pointing out is our quarterback, even though he wasn't amazing with some of his throws that he missed, he went 33 for 42 tonight with 243 yards with 2 touchdowns. So almost 80% throwing. And the other quarterback on the other team, who was a runner mostly, right, threw 25 passes for 69 yards and one interception. You know who we used to have? Was quarterbacks who used to only throw about 20, 30 passes, and they throw a pick, maybe a touchdown here and there. That's who we used to have. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He might have missed some throws, but we've got the guy for the future still and the offensive coordinator for the future. That's all I got to say.
Tyler, no, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question real quick because I want to get your opinion here from somebody who watched the game. Are you a part of the camp that says, man, I wish Dylan threw the ball farther. I wish he had more air yards. I wish he took shots more. Or are you somebody watching saying, you know what, he's getting the ball out quicker, and that's major improvement for me?
Yes, and I will say I do understand maybe his completions are higher because they're quicker passes as shorter passes. That's kind of the game we play.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say I don't know if those receivers were getting open. That's the problem. I don't know if anybody was really getting open tonight. That's the problem I think we're running into.
Sure.
But we tried to do more than a few, and I think we tried to do at least 6 or 7 deep ones. But he just not only just pressure. I don't think he got. I mean, I think he still had some time, like at least a few seconds. Sure. But I don't know if we were getting open tonight.
Yeah, and that's something definitely when we go back and watch the tape, but just at a glance, I definitely agree with you. Agree with you there, Tyler. Appreciate your call so much. We're going to get to our last call here at this segment, and then we'll move to the last segment of Big Red Overreaction. Do not forget, BROR is brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair and Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more, along with Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air system experts. Justin, you're the last call of the segment. What do you got to say?
Oh, this is fantastic. And this is a great segue. When we're talking about release and getting the ball out of your hands quick, my friend, on a positive side, has the high score at Kelly's Papa Shot. It's at 85, and he beat it by 15. So if we're looking at positives, and Josh, listen to me. I called Arrowhead Stadium 3 times, and I told them to open the gates, and they called me back. And I go, I don't think you realize what's about to happen. And they wouldn't open the gate. Now, listen to me. I know we're a little weak on the interior of the D-line. It's just like I was weak in my knees at that first junior high dance with Jenny Gehrig. Love you, Jenny. I don't know where you're at today, but we were weak there, right? But
sure.
There's some room for improvement, and I guarantee no one will beat 85 on the Papa Shot. I have some other comment, but I was trying to keep it positive.
No, we got it. We definitely have to keep it positive tonight, and I appreciate that, Justin. There's nothing better than when you drop your homecoming date's name just into a local radio show to prove a point about your favorite football team.
You have to remember yours. It was not that terribly long ago.
Yeah.
Or were you a Stag guy? I don't want to out you here on the radio.
I think it's better that I just don't mention their name. And,
Okay.
and frankly,
Okay.
the people that we don't mention their name are my favorite type of people. And we want to thank No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, and more natural life. We want to thank No Name Nutrition so much for sponsoring Big Red Overreaction, along with Dingman's Prairie Flower Casino and Peerless Energy Systems.
Right into that one.
Hey, you walked right into that, just like we walked into a hot tag from Shawn Michaels. The Marty Jannettis of 1620 The Zone are carrying you all the way to roughly around 1:30 here on BROR. We have one more segment. So if you're on the road, if you're driving back to Lincoln, if you're driving back to Omaha, if you're driving back to Chicago or Indianapolis or Denver or Sioux City or South Dakota or Sioux Falls, I don't care what you're driving back to. If you have us on the radio here and you got some opinions that you want to say about what you saw tonight at Arrowhead Stadium, 402-951-1620, the Prairie Flower Casino hotline. Play longer, win more. We will be right back here at 1620 The Zone TikTok House. You're listening to Big Red Overreaction here. Matt McMaster with Josh Odson from 1620 The Zone, the house here in Kansas City. The guys, John, Josh, Gary, and Connor, all on the way back from Arrowhead. We are holding down the fort here for the last couple of minutes, taking the final calls of this victorious Big Red Overreaction. That we want to thank our sponsors at No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. And don't forget, if you're calling into Big Red Overreaction, you're calling into the Jay Stennett Contracting Hotline. We are going to go to the phones here. But before we do, I just want to say this. Emmett Johnson, not that we hand out MVPs every Big Red Overreaction.
Maybe we should.
32 touches tonight.
They set the bar at 20 on unsportsmanlike conduct.
Absolutely insane. 25 rushing attempts, seven receptions tonight, which, by the way, call me crazy. People call me crazy. And I said, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to predict it. But Marlon Lucky's 75. If this team falls in love with throwing that little Charlie check down to him, which they did, had 7 receptions tonight. We definitely do, though, want that number of receiving yards, which was only at 27 tonight, to go up. But we will go to the phones right now. We will begin with Chris. Chris, you're on BROR. What do you got to say, my man? Chris? All right, cool. We'll go to John. John, you are live on Big Red Overreaction here, talking to Matt McMaster and Josh Odson. What do you think of tonight's game, John?
All right, Matt, you're right that Johnson is the man. He should touch the ball at least 45 times a game because the rest of the offense is garbage. So the defense this year is the same as last year. It's good, but not great. Can't stop anybody when it means anything. The offensive line is okay, but can't protect Dylan. They actually did a good job today on run blocking, but when is it okay to start criticizing Dylan Raiola for missing wide open receivers? So the third quarter, 4th down play was stupid. It was just like Ireland. But when they went for it, Dylan could have taken a 3-step drop, hit 2 wide open receivers, either one of them, for a first down, and he can't do it. When do we start thinking that he's just not I understand he's 20 years old maybe, but when do we start thinking that, oh gosh, this guy's average, maybe not great?
Yeah, I appreciate it, John. He went 33-42 tonight. I'm not going to stress out over a couple of missed passes. All right, he had a 79% completion percentage. I think my biggest critique of him last year was he didn't take what the defense was giving.
And that's exactly what he did tonight.
There you go. Look, was he perfect? No. Was anybody on this team outside of Archie Wilson? No. So, like we said before, like we said to open the show, plenty to work on. We'll go to Dave. Dave,
just real
quick before we go to Dave. Go to Dave.
The defense can't make a stop when it matters.
Thank you.
Game-ending interception. I understand they were very porous up until that point on that drive, but literally when it counted, they made a stop.
And by the way, not only just they made a stop, the guy who I think a lot of people were probably going to blame for the loss,
potential GOAT candidate, yeah,
made the stop, and Malcolm Hartzog, number 7. Dave, what do you got for me? What do you got for us? I keep saying me. What do you got for us, Dave?
Yeah, I'm calling. Give a shout out to Malcolm Hartzog Jr. When the game was on the line, he stepped up big time. That was ice, and he just, oh man, that was so awesome. That was immediate Husker history. It reminded me of Ronnie Kellogg throwing the Westerkamp at the Sparty game. It was amazing. Yeah. So Malcolm Hartzog Jr., bro. That's all I got to say.
Hey, love it, Dave.
Bye.
I wanted you to
Way to
Okay.
go, Dave.
See
Yeah.
you, Dave. I mean, that was. What did he make that sound with? Was it just?
Did he have a kazoo? It sounded like he had
sounded
a
like a
kazoo.
kazoo.
Yeah.
Or maybe you ever do the thing with the you know what? We don't have to go too in depth about that. We can do that
Okay.
in the morning. Hey, we want to thank our title sponsor, No Name Nutrition, brought to you by No Name Nutrition. Live a better, healthier, more natural life. And we want to thank our supporting sponsor, Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems expert. We will now. Did we?
We just did Dave, right?
We'll go to Dan. Dan, DAN. What you got for us?
Oh, am I here?
Dan, you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What do you got for me, my man?
Oh, okay. All right, good. Well, first of all, good job for the team finally going 1-0 for 2 straight years. It feels good to actually say that. And my rant is not really against the Huskers. It's more against the Husker fans, like John, who called earlier, who were talking about how we need to start criticizing Dylan Raiola, who had a great day. Why are we trying to find all these darn negatives? Like, when was the last time that we said that we had a 1-score lead and we ended the game with a pick against what I would think is a pretty decent Cincinnati team, right? We don't get that. And we're going to play more of these games throughout the year. We got Michigan State, we got Maryland, Minnesota, Northwestern, maybe UC and UCLA. Those games are going to be mediocre games that we're going to have to play, and they're going to come down to the wire. And that's just the unfortunate situation. That's just going to be what happens. And to see us start the year like that, where we didn't play the best, but we didn't play necessarily bad. There could have been play calls I would have rather have not seen, like going for it on 4th and 2. I wouldn't have seen that. But I mean, I think overall it was a good game, and it gives me a lot of hope going this season. I think we could still get 9 wins out of this. We're going to play a lot of teams like Cincinnati. They're going to come in. They're going to challenge us, and we're going to go challenge them. And I think we could come out with 9 wins on top of it if we keep doing that. As long as we win, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Hell of a call, Dan. Really, really appreciate it. Don't apologize. Don't apologize
for wins.
Don't apologize for winning. All right. Nebraska fans, you know what I'm about to say. There's been plenty of heartbreaking losses. There's been plenty of moral victories. There's been plenty of, if this happened, if this didn't happen. Well, you know what? For once in this era of Nebraska football that we have been through, it seems like Nebraska got a couple of breaks. Let's be real. There were a couple of turnovers that Nebraska football probably should have coughed up that they were fortunate not to.
How did Dylan not fumble that football?
Jameer and Bonner. Like that was we were inches away from them grabbing that ball and it not being a forward fumble that, ended up in points. So it's just kind of one of those things where this team finally did something that not only, and we always talk about 10 years and we always talk about 12 years, this team finally did something that hasn't really happened in the Matt Rule era all that often, is that close out incredibly, incredibly close games. Before we get to our next caller here, we want to thank one of our supporting sponsors, which is Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair, along with Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more. We'll go to Warren. Warren, how you doing tonight?
Joel Warren, are you there?
Is it Joel? Yeah, I didn't know if Joey forgot the comma or if it was Joel Warren. Okay. All righty. I think that
was anticlimactic.
All right. It was. Wow. Okay. That's it. We're out of calls. We have done it. We have made it to the end.
They said it couldn't be done. They said, we cannot send these boys to Kansas City. They'll mess it up. There's no way that they could do all the things we've asked of them. We did it. We kicked it out of the park, which isn't a phrase, but it's 1:30 in the morning. Give me a break.
I think we punted it to the 9-yard line, which is what Archie Miller did a couple of times tonight.
That's good.
It's good. It's incredible. Joey, I know we're kind of winding down here, but if we get one more call, we'll definitely take it to end the show. But
I'd rather spend the last minute of this show praising Joey for his long day. Joey to GOAT.
Go ahead. First off, Joey Colbert, not a lot of people have had the day that he's had. He's worked an incredibly long day. He's worked incredibly hard. He's worked incredibly efficiently. He had Popeyes, which good on you.
Popeyes, you told me you're going to Cane's.
Oh, is that what he said? He said fried chicken. I thought it was I just assumed it was
Cane's.
Popeyes.
I'm not going to wait
You know who's
20
not gonna be
minutes
having-
in line when we were coming up with the plan for this show tonight.
Well, do you know who won't be eating Popeyes tonight? Josh Peterson.
Oh, boy.
Or he won't be eating it tomorrow, but he'll be sleeping on a couch, which I don't know when they're going to get back. They could walk through this door any minute. Our 4 Knights who have been incredible. Well, our 5 Knights, because Chris Prudon has been an absolute trooper as well. They did an incredible job from the Arrowhead parking lot doing this first part of Big Red Overreaction, and then we tagged in and we finished the rest of it. It was a hell of a day. It was a hell of a night. It was one of those wins where it kind of just was an ugly football game. And Nebraska football in the last couple of years have lost plenty of ugly football games. And we've mentioned this over and over and over again, and no one's denying it. There's a lot to be fixed on this team if they are going to win 8 games, if they're going to win 9 games, if they are going to make the college football playoff, which a lot of people believe that they are going to. Or not a lot of people, which some people believe that they are going to.
Matt, get some sleep.
But I want to finish this.
Okay. Finish it quickly.
But
because they're going to come in and they're going to distract us, and it's going to keep us on the air longer.
They won a game by 3 points. They haven't done that a whole lot. They made the big play when they needed to make the big play. And Nebraska football is 1-0.
I told you.
I know. Chris
I tried
Prudon.
to tell you.
It's baked beans. I had some baked beans.
That's all you had for dinner?
No, I had the sausage and brisket as well. What? It's been a long day. You and I have a show in 3 hours.
Yes.
We walk in to a plate of beans.
Matt's plate of beans. Wow. Well,
wrap it up.
the first Big Red Overreaction in the books. Let's thank our lovely sponsors, Equitable Bank.
Thank you.
No Name Nutrition.
Go ahead. Rare Flower Casino.
Play longer, win more. I know that tagline.
Peerless Energy Systems, your local compressed air systems experts, along with the Jay Stinnett Contracting Hotline and Dingman's Collision Center and Mechanical Repair. It has been a long day. If you've been with us from 6 a.m. and you finished with us at 1:30 in the morning, thank you so much. From Josh Hodson, from Matt McMaster, from Chris Prudon, from Gary Sharp, from John Bishop, to Josh Peterson, to Connor Happer, to Joey Colbert, from all the people who've helped us, who've put this trip together. I want to thank you all so much. We will see you later this morning. You've been listening to Big Red Overreaction on 1620 The Zone.